Hello and welcome back in this requested video by Mr. Sergio Rodrigo. So he requested what will happen if you push the stroke all the way up to the max and the bore all the way down to the minimum. And he also want the engine to be without variable valve lift technology. Well, actually nothing will happen. It will work perfectly. I mean, there is nothing wrong with making a high stroker engine. So let's make one. Let's keep it simple and make yes, I'm gonna make it simple as a V16 engine. This is not really simple, it's very complicated, but a V16 is always great, a great example for any massive engine to make. Alright, so let's make it aluminium block. Now we already have 86 on the bore and stroke. So let's see if I push it all the way to the max. As you can see, it will automatically change and increase the bore as well with it. As you can see, if I decreased the bore right now, the stroke will follow. Look. So you cannot just put the bore on 50 and the stroke on 120. No. So this is the minimum and this is the max. So the max is 120 millimeters on the stroke and the minimum on the bore is 90. Nothing will happen, it will work perfectly, and the size will be 12.2 liters. This is a massive size. And he wants an engine without variable valve lift technology. So let's see, let's put dual overhead cam with 4 valves per cylinder, aluminium head, and we have the option for variable valve lift technology. Okay, I'm not gonna use it, none. Moving on, forged steel, lightweight forged pistons, zero quality. Let's see, 10.0 to 1. And if you are not using variable valve lift technology, this option, the variable valve lift profile, will be locked. So the only option for the camshaft is the size and the lobe and the what called the lobe angle, or the lobe angle for the camshaft. This is the only thing that will control of the camshaft itself, and here they call it the profile. As you can see, if you can pause the video right here and right here and right here, so you can read it all. So the more aggressive and the more racing, or the more you increase the camshaft, the more high RPM power you will achieve, and the less torque you will make. But the least amount of cam profile you will get the low end, low RPM torque, but you will lose high end power. So it's your choice. Whatever engine you are designing, you will put the correct camshaft in it. If you are designing a sporty engine, you will put it in between here at let's say 65. This will be perfect. The engine will still be torquey, but not that much, but not like regular torquey engine, but it will have good amount of power. If you are making a racing engine, you will push it all the way to 85, or let's say 90, sometimes 100 if you are using a high RPM engine. But if you are making an economical engine with high torque, with low end torque, you will push it, let's say, to 25, 20. Sometimes if you are going really maximum eco, you will go 15 or even 10. I also made one with 0 before, but putting it to 0, this is not an assurance. This will not assure you a great performance or great economical. Sometimes it will lose fuel efficiency by making it going all the way to 0. So you have to keep an eye for the fuel efficiency gauge here, but it's not showing yet because the engine is not finished. So I'm gonna set it, keep it on 50 for a start. Variable valve timing is different from the variable valve technology, because this technology you can never play with it. It just this is only set. This technology is only for the cam gears and how will they affect the timing for the engine. As you can see, you can read it here if you can pause the video. Yes, it will make the engine more economical, more efficient, and it will make the torque much higher at low RPM, and it will make the engine even less toxic, and it will lower the emissions. So it's up to you. I mean, putting variable valve technology, variable valve timing will increase the cost and the engineering time for the engine. It's your option. If you're designing a cheapy economical engine, you can use it, you cannot use it. It's up to you. I'm not gonna use it here because since I'm not gonna use variable valvelet, I'm not gonna use VVT as well. Zero quality, naturally aspirated. I'm gonna use regular multi-point fuel injection because it's way cheaper than the the direct fuel injection. Single throttle, standard. As you can see, look at this huge intake manifold. Let's see, 91 octane fuel. The air-fuel ratio is how much fuel you want to push in. Let's say 14 is great. Let's drop the ignition timing for a start so this engine will not knock. Maybe 6000. I'm gonna use short cast headers because they are cheapy and they flow great. Dual pipes, 2.5 inch, 3-way reverse flow straight through. And yes, we have the engine is still knocking, so to prevent that from happening, let's push a little bit more fuel in and increase the timing a little bit. 33, and this is the final result: 670 pound-feet of torque and 519 horsepower. As you can see, the engine is extremely torquey because it's, first of all, it's a V16 and 16 cylinders are much more torqueier than any other engine with smaller or with less cylinders. Also, you have to keep an eye because this engine is a stroker engine, and stroker engines make a lot of torque. I mean, a lot of generators, a lot of truck engine, they have massive amount of stroke because they want to produce as much torque as possible, and that's why they rev less. I mean, making an engine really high on stroke will make the RPM very, very low. That's, as you can see, with forged internals. I mean, forged internals, these should rev high. These internals, they should rev high to the sky, and as you can see, we are already maxed out at 6000 RPM. Increasing the RPM more will result in warning lights that the internals are going to explode, and this will decrease the reliability when you're increasing it over the limit. So this is it. This is basically how you make a stroker engine. There is nothing special here, and also you should set the exhaust size, according to your power. As you can see, if you go to the flow bench, the exhaust size is really the exhaust right now is really restricting. I mean, look, we have a red light here, which means, I mean, there's nothing wrong here. You can keep this engine. It's okay. It will run normally. It will be fuel economical, but if you want to make more power and torque, sometimes increasing the size of the exhaust will make the engine more efficient. As you can see, I just increased it to 2.8 inch. We increased the fuel efficiency. We are using less octane. The engine is a little bit louder because of a bigger exhaust. The engine is heavier for thicker and bigger tubes. And yes, it's still restricting, and we made a lot more power. And I just received a cool comment. I'm going to review it later. As you can see, increasing it to 3 inch, 715 pound-feet of torque, to a 3.2 inch more, 3.5 inch more. But if you want, let me give you a tip: use bypass valves, because if you use them, you will keep the exhaust diameter smaller, but it will flow much better. Look, as you can see, putting a bypass valve, this will open the exhaust to its max. Increasing it more will result in losing power, so keep it at 3.5 inch. As you can see, without it, the exhaust is restricting. We have to increase it to make much more power to 4.5 inch, and 4.5 inch is a really huge exhaust. Decrease it to 3.5, put bypass valves, and you will get the same result. Let's see, if you want to use high flow 3-way, you will get better fuel efficiency and more power. Put straight through mufflers on it. You can even remove the mufflers if you want to make a racing engine, but no, I'm going to keep it regular. What else? Now let's get back to the camshaft. As you can see, I'm increasing the camshaft, I'm making more power, but I'm losing torque. Look, 7, and now look, we are even losing. We will start to lose power if I increase it more. As you can see, now we are losing even power and even torque because the engine cannot rev higher. 94 is only for high revving engines like 7000, 8000, 9000 RPM, but 6000, no, you have to decrease it to the point you feel it's running perfectly. I mean, I always decrease it to the point that the engine is, yes, as you can see right now, decreasing it. Here we go. Now this is perfect for a regular engine. The engine right now, if I decrease it, I will lose torque, and if I increase it, I will also lose torque. So I have to keep it on this. This is the perfect spot, 44. Because I'm looking at the torque, 777 pound-feet of torque. This is perfect if you are making a torquey engine. As you can see, if I decrease it more, I will make more fuel efficiency. Yes. So if you want to make your engine economical, you should drop it until you hit the sweet spot. Right now, 33. This is the sweet spot for fuel economy. But we lost torque and we lost power. So it's up to you. What is your engine? What kind of engine you are making? I want to make this one as a torquey engine, so right now 44. If I want to make more power, I will increase it to 60 maybe, and it will lose torque, but it will make the highest amount of power. And let me show you what variable valve timing will do. If you put on the intake only, you will make the engine more efficient. It will lose a little bit more octane. It will drop the emissions significantly. It will make the engine smoother, but it will be less reliable because, you know, more complicated parts has been bolted onto the engine, and it will require a little bit high maintenance. I mean, the maintenance cost will be the same, but that's why the engine got less reliable. If you add to all cams, you will get much better results. As you can see, 19.2% from the same cam profile. So this is pretty much it. I mean, this is now an efficient engine with tons and tons of torque going out of it, and let's fire it up. Let's fire this beast up. As you can see, 545 pound-feet of torque at idle. Absolutely amazing. I mean, if you want to make the engine even efficient, you can bolt on direct fuel injection. It will make huge impact on the fuel efficiency and octane value. Look at the difference. Look, from 19.2% to 20.1, and the octane has dropped from 89 to 85. And look at the emissions. The engine is now less toxic. It's more smooth. It's more responsive. It's more reliable. It's a little bit heavy because of the new intake manifold and the new fuel injectors and the new fuel system. It's a little bit heavier, and let's see. Of course, it will require more time to be engineered. It will cost more. Look, it used to be $3,000 and now it's $3,800. So yes, we have like an extra $813 of cost, and this is how it looks. As you can see, different intake manifold. The injectors are now has been bolted on differently, and the airbox is now a little bit different, and we can now push more ignition time in because of the new octane value. You have also to find you need to find the sweet spot also on the ignition timing. Sometimes pushing it all the way to the max will result not in good results, and sometimes it will make great results. So it's up to the engine. As you can see, 94 is this is the perfect spot. As you can see, 786 horsepower, 850 pound-feet of torque. The engine now is a monster. I mean, it's already a monster, but what do you expect? Now let's rev this engine higher. We need to put a better crankshaft so we can go over 6,500 titanium connecting rods, and now we can push it. No, 6,400. This is perfect. 794 horsepower. No, I'm not gonna increase the exhaust diameter. It will lose power. Let's put on a different headers. Look at the difference, because this is a huge engine with 16 cylinders. So headers will better headers will affect the engine significantly. Look at the difference from short cast to tubular. Wow, the engine is more efficient, using less octane. It's a little bit more toxic. It's lighter than before, it's cheaper than before, but of course the engineering time is a little bit high. So it's perfect like this. If you bolt on long tubular, this is also magnificently different. We can push the ignition timing. As you can see, more ignition timing will make the engine lose power. So not always the high ignition timing is best. Switching to performance intake. Let's see. Yes, we are not losing torque. We're still not losing torque. I'm gonna stop. Oh, okay, right now, here. 58 now. This is the sweet spot on the torque. 905 pound-feet of torque. Now we can increase the compression ratio a little bit. Right here, 10.4 to 1. This is perfect now. We can, if you want to make it more efficient, you can decrease the amount of fuel going in. I know it just lost power because we have pulled off some of the fuel. Let's see, using twin throttle bodies. Sometimes it will not make any extra power, but it will make the throttle response, I mean, not by much. So I'm gonna get it back to, but let me show you the throttle per cylinder. It will lose torque and it will make more power, so it's up to you. I mean, everything here is up to you, my friend. Let's see, anything else? Let's remove the second muffler so we can make the engine perform better. Anything else we should do? I think this engine has been maxed out. As you can see, it looks magnificent now. Let's fire it up and see what kind of sounds we will get. These are titanium connecting rods, billet steel crankshaft. That's why they look different. Cylinders. What a view. Look at that long block. Wow. So this is it. I'm really happy with what I achieved here. It's pretty much awesome to make these tutorial videos of what will happen if you make a stroker, a bigger bore engine, what will happen if you don't put variable valve lift, and etc. As you can see, it's easy to play this game and it's easy to make any engine you are dreaming of, as long as the game can support it. So thank you so much, Mr. Sergio, for your cool request. I'm really happy to make any videos you like. If you want to play the game, it's easy, it's not really difficult to play, and I'm really happy with the end result here. A V16 engine is always great, whatever the specs are. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, get subscribed, share the video if you want to share it. And also, if you want to request engines, go to my Patreon page. I will put the link below in the description. Write your request over there and I will make it as soon as possible. And thank you so much, guys, for watching. I will see you very soon, and goodbye for now.